What will Chicago Bears quarterback Justin Fields' stats look like for next season? Let's talk about it. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports. I'm back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you are a Bears fan, hit that subscribe button. I promise you will not regret it. Make sure you're following me on all my social media platforms. And as always, hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video. All right, so these are not going to be my predictions on Justin Fields' stat line for this upcoming season. This is, in fact, somebody else's who I'll talk about in just a second here. But I will be giving you guys my official prediction for what his stat line will look like. So stay tuned for that. Look out for it. But this is basically coming from Albert Breer, NFL reporter for the Monday Morning Quarterback, and he basically offered his stat projections for Fields this season, and it is the following, and I quote, so he says, I'll go with 63% completion percentage, 3,200 passing yards, 24 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and 800 yards rushing. And I do that to put Fields in between campaigns Jalen Hurts posted in 2021 and 2022. I believe Fields was a better passer coming out than Hurts was, but he doesn't have the circumstances that Hurts got over the last couple of years. I remember last year talking to a veteran evaluator about him and what lesson he'd take from missing on Hurts into scouting quarterbacks in the future. His answer was that a team should never underestimate the makeup of a player. As such, Hurts in so many ways willed himself to become better in places where, again, guys generally don't ascend as pros. And knowing what I know about Fields' makeup and what he's done in Chicago the last couple off seasons makes me think he can make the kind of jump Hurts did, end quote. So, a lot to unpack there. Let's first talk about my reaction to the numbers. So 3,200 passing yards, 24 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. That's pretty solid, all right? That's 1,000 more passing yards than he had last year. He had 2,200 passing yards last year. So 3,200 passing yards, that is solid, all right? Again, I haven't really, done my numbers on this, but kind of somewhere around probably what I would expect. Certainly over 3,000 yards I would have projected Fields to throw for. So his passing numbers to me were always going to go up. Rushing numbers were going to come down. And that's what Albert Breer did have. So last year Fields had over 1,100 rushing yards. He brought him down to 800. And I want that number to come down too. All right. If our team is good enough, we don't need Fields, the offensive line is good enough. We don't need Fields to run as much. I want him to become a better passer and be able to throw more, take less hits. So I am good with that. So 24 touchdowns and 10 interceptions is the TD to INT ratio. That is, much better than last year, or slightly better than last year, I should say. He had 17 touchdowns last year, and now increasing him to 24, so 7 more and 1 less interception. All right. So overall, honestly, these are pretty solid numbers. If this is what Justin Fields ends up with for next season, it's a success. No, these aren't like, elite quarterback numbers. It's not 30 touchdowns and 10 interceptions and 4,000 passing yards. You'd love to see that. But overall, this is a fairly solid campaign. And this is I would say, a realistic, more so than a conservative prediction for Fields. Right? You don't want to put the entire world's expectations on him and say, look, if he doesn't throw for 4,000 passing yards, it's a failure. If he doesn't throw for 30 touchdowns, it's a failure. No, these are respectable numbers. 3,200 passing yards, 3,200, passing yards, 24 touchdowns, 10 picks, 800 rushing yards. I will take these numbers. And more importantly, like he was talking about, Justin Fields improving in those areas, becoming a better passer in the intermediate area of the field, as well as getting the ball out quicker. All of these things combined, just making overall better decisions, comparing him to like what Jalen Hurts did. I would love that. So again, you don't have to have the eye-popping numbers. This would be more than respectable, and I'd be very happy with this, quite honestly, with you. So what do you guys think? I would call that year a success. If you give me those numbers, I tell you that the Bears had a fairly good season. I think Justin Fields had a fairly good season. So that's where I'm at. Let me know what you guys think. As always,